So, welcome to your gentle flow and deep stretch. My name is Laura Beth. You know that by now. If you would like to use my Spotify playlist, you'll search for the account Laura Beth Lopez, and the playlist is Sage, S-A-G-E. You might want to grab a couple of blocks today, and if you have a bolster or a large, just like bed pillow, this is what I'm going to use. At the end of class, go ahead and do that. And then that's all you really need today. And we'll kind of open up seated, take our time here. We're going to get into the neck, the upper back, the shoulders, all that stuff. In case you're holding on to some tension, some stress in that area, we're going to move through that a little bit. And then we will eventually come to standing, just giving you all kind of a roadmap. The standing portion is not meant to be strenuous at all. It is intended to move into the hips, into the side body, to stretch a little bit more, and it is pretty short, so no worries, all right? Hang tight. And then if you would like to go ahead and cue up your playlist, now is a great time to do it. And then let's all meet seated. And I will go ahead and say that with the camera, it's probably going to look like I'm flipped. So really try to pay attention to the words that I'm saying and maybe not so much looking at the screen. I know that has, we've created that crutch lately with all the virtual stuff of looking at the screen, looking at the teacher. Feel it out in your body. Just listen to what I'm saying, right? So starting here in your seated position, your Sukhasana, you can have your right ankle in front of the left, root your sits bones down to the ground, and then allow for your vertebra to stack one on top of the other. So you sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and then pull your belly in and up. Now let's take a moment here. You can close down your eyes or gaze softly at something just in front of you. Let's set the tone of our practice by really stepping out of anything else happening in your day, your life, your week. And most importantly, whatever you've got left on your to-do list today, just put it aside. Give yourself this gift of being in this space, in this moment, in this body for, like an hour, right? Go ahead and completely exhale. Now inhale through your nose. And exhale out the mouth. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. One more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. If your eyes are closed, maybe you flicker them open. And then bring your shoulders up towards your ears as you inhale. And then exhale, allow them to roll back and down. So some shoulder shrugs here for a moment. Roll your shoulders forward, up, and then back and down. Just keep kind of moving in this fluid motion here. And I want you to notice how you might also feel the top of your humerus, your upper arm bone, as it kind of draws up. It might even feel like it's pulling up into your shoulder socket. And then as you soften and relax down, you kind of feel the pressure there release as there becomes more space between the top of your upper arm bone and the socket that it is attached to, right? So just kind of moving there. And then the next time you come back through center, switch those and go in the opposite direction. So moving back, up, and then forward and down. Good. This typically is the rotation that feels a little bit more awkward to me because I am consistently having to take my shoulders down and back. So I don't work this one as much. Good, y'all. Awesome. And then slowly release. Now bring your fingertips to your shoulder caps. So your elbows are kind of, out to the side for a second. Sit up nice and tall. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, bring your elbows to touch in front of you and kind of down. Now inhale, sweep your elbows back and down, reach them out. Try to touch your wrists together behind your neck. And then come forward, touch your elbows, reach it back. And maybe your wrists touch behind your neck. Elbows sweep forward, they touch, reach them back. Oh, and then maybe the wrists kind of kiss behind your neck. Let's do this maybe 3 more times, right? Really try to get the elbows to come forward. I kind of miss that piece sometimes and I go straight to the wrists. You're going to feel this in your upper back, your shoulder caps, your shoulder blades. And then the next time your elbows come forward, we're going to switch that, okay? So bring your elbows back. Touch your wrists. Now come forward, let your elbows touch in front of you, and then lift your elbows, bring your wrists to touch behind your neck, and then circle your elbows back and bring them forward. Let your elbows touch in front of your chest, lift them, separate, and then your wrists touch behind your neck. You draw your elbows back and down. Let's take 2 more just like that. Good, y'all. Breathe through it. It's a little bit awkward, especially if you don't do this kind of stuff very often. That's your last one. Oh, just a little sweeping through your shoulders and then release. Let your hands come down next to your hips. And then inhale, get really nice and long. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. And then exhale, just let them kind of drop back down. Inhale, bring them up. And then exhale, let them just kind of hang down. Last one. Inhale, bring them up. And exhale, let them just hang down. Now inhale, reach your arms out and up. Cross your right wrist in front of the left and interlace your fingers. So palm to palm. Right wrist in front of the left and palm to palm. Interlace your fingers. Now with your inhale, get a little bit longer. Reach your fist up towards the sky. If you can straighten the arms, straighten the arms. But I want you to know, so if you're kind of feeling like this is going to pull something, you're going to bring your arms just a little bit forward so that you're not framing your ears with your biceps. But if it feels okay, you're going to bring your arms back and do frame your ears with your biceps while straightening. But if it feels kind of off, you can also take a bend to the elbows, right? Just be here for a moment, kind of feel this out in your upper back. Now inhale, I want you to reach a little bit higher. On the exhale, bend your elbows and kind of bring your fist towards the crown of your head. Your gaze is straight forward. Inhale, straighten your arms, reach, get a little bit higher. Exhale, bend your elbows and bring your hands down. Good. Inhale, let's take 1 more. I got a little elbow pop there. And then exhale. Bend your elbows, stay lifted through your chest, lifted through your spine. Let's go ahead and do 1 more. Really reach and lengthen. Try to straighten through the arms without pain. Remember, your arms could come forward. And then exhale, bend your elbows. Good. Breathe. Relax your shoulders down. Now on your inhale, reach your arms back up overhead. Get as long as you can. On the exhale, twist over to the right. So you're going to feel your right shoulder start to pull back. At any point this becomes too much on your joints, you release the arms all together. It's not worth it, right? So on your inhale, really reach your fingertips a little bit higher. And then you exhale, twist a little bit more to the right. Navel draws in and up. Feel this kind of in your middle and upper thoracic spine, maybe more like the middle, I would guess, but perfect. Now take 1 more inhale. You're reaching with your arms. On the exhale, release the cross of your hands. Let your right hand come behind your right hip. Flip your left palm up and let the back of your wrist or the top of your wrist come to the outside of your right knee or thigh. Now as you inhale, reach a little bit longer with your spine. And then exhale, twist just a little bit more. Keep breathing. You might start to turn your gaze a little bit kind of towards your right shoulder for a moment. Feel the stretch in the left side of your neck. On your inhale, turn your gaze back kind of towards your left thumb, so it's a centered gaze. Inhale, lengthen your spine, lengthen the crown of your head up. And then exhale, take your left ear towards your left shoulder, but relax your left shoulder down. Feel what's happening in the right side of your neck now. Breathe. Maybe you take your chin and kind of move it down a little bit. Maybe you turn your gaze towards your left armpit. Kind of feel out your right side neck. But don't overdo it, y'all, okay? It is possible to overstretch. And then bring your chin back to neutral. Lift the crown of your head. And then inhale. Rotate back front and center. Reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold yourself down. So you're going to forward fold over your crossed legs. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down to the ground. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Breathe here. Good. Now slowly walk yourself back up. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. On the exhale, drop your right hand to the right with your fingertips pointing towards what would be the top of your mat. If you can bring your right forearm and your elbow down, even if it's on a block, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can just leave your right elbow and forearm lifted. Reach your left arm up and over and find a side body stretch on the left side. So your right arm is down. Root down into your left sit bone. Breathe here. Relax your left shoulder from your ear. If it feels appropriate, you can look up underneath your left tricep. Just check out with your cervical spine, with your neck. Good, y'all. Now stay where you are. Reach your left arm up and then out to the left. And let your left arm come to like shoulder height, and then let your right ear drop down towards your right shoulder. Breathe here for a moment. Feel all of that stretch through the left side of your neck. And then you're going to lead with your left hand. Press down through your right palm. Let your ear just stay as it is. Your head is hanging. Slowly pick yourself back up. Drag your right fingertips. Let your left hand come to the ground. And now lift the crown of your head up. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then inhale, reach your left arm out and up. On the exhale, let your left fingertips find your right temple. Now, you're not going to create a pull. It's natural additional weight. So inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, just kind of let your left ear come towards your left shoulder. And let the left hand serve as like a weight. Good, y'all. Breathe here first. And now, if this is a lot, you're going to stay right here, right? We're going to combat that, what's the word I'm looking for? That habit of always thinking we need or want more, right? If this feels like a lot, this is where you stay. If this just feels great, this is where you stay. If you want a little bit more because you need some more, you can float your right fingers out, lift them, and turn your right palm forward. Your right thumb is up. And then you're going to make these little like baby circles, rotations with your right hand. And just feel kind of how it creates a difference in your neck. You can go in the opposite direction when you're ready. If you're ready, right? And keep breathing, y'all. Just keep breathing. Now inhale here. On the exhale, slide your right forearm around the small of your back in a half bind. So you're going to actually flip the rotation of your right upper arm bone. So now your thumb is pointing down. And wrap your right forearm around the small of your back. Stay right here for a moment. So we're going to do a little bit of an activation release here. So let your left hand press into your right temple. And it's like you're kind of trying to lift your head, but not really, for 3, 2, 1, release. Let your right shoulder soften down. Do that one more time. Inhale, you kind of lift for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Let your left hand slide off of your head. Lift to the crown of your head. Now release both arms down and then turn your face from side to side. Good, y'all. Getting out of all of that. Now come right back to center. And then if you need to wiggle out your feet or do anything like that, do all of that stuff. And then cross your left ankle in front of the right. So it's probably going to feel a little bit awkward because it's usually the awkward foot. So from here, inhale. Oh, hold on. Let me roll this out a little bit. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. This time, cross your left wrist in front of the right. Interlace your fingers. Go palm to palm. Stay for your exhale. Now inhale, reach a little bit higher. And I want you to just stay. For your exhale, root down into the four corners, not the four corners, but your 2 sits bones. And then feel how when you root down there, it's a lot easier for the rest of your spine to lift, to lengthen, to get longer and feel lighter. Now inhale, reach through your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend your elbows, bring your wrists down kind of towards the crown. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Always remember you can bring your arms forward. Exhale to bend. So just like on the first side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bend. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bend. And now you're going to inhale, lengthen, and stay for a second. Your gaze is just at the tip of your nose or at something softly in front of you. So, for example, if you have your screen down on the floor, try not to look down, right? Because that changes what's happening in your neck, in your scalenes, like everything that's going on. So you really want a neutral spine, neutral neck, lifted crown. Now with your inhale, reach a little bit higher. On the exhale, you're going to spin over to the left now. Inhale, you reach higher. And then you exhale, you keep twisting, and maybe you start to turn your gaze towards the left. Breathe here. Remember, if you can lengthen your spine, it makes the twisting feel a lot more accessible. Breathe here. One more inhale. And on the exhale, you release your hands. Your left hand drops behind your left hip, and your right hand comes to your left thigh, but the palm is facing up. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, you might twist a little bit more, and your gaze starts to move towards your left shoulder. Relax your shoulders back and down. Lift your chest. Belly's in. Good, y'all. Very nice. Now, if you turned your face towards the left, I want you to inhale, move your gaze point back in alignment with your right thumb. Lengthen the crown of your head. And then exhale, take your right ear down towards your right shoulder. And let's just kind of feel out the left side of your neck now. Breathe. And then you can kind of move your chin down. Maybe you just turn your gaze towards your right armpit. Good, y'all. And then when you're ready, gently lift the crown of your head back up. Inhale, rotate front and center, reach both arms high. And then exhale, fold yourself down. Relax your shoulders back and down. Forward fold. Good. And you'll slowly walk yourself back up, shoulders over your hips. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, this time drop your left hand down to the side body, taking your side bend. If you can take the left elbow and forearm all the way down, do so. Reach your right arm up and over. Nice. But if for whatever reason that just doesn't jive, you're going to stay lifted off of your elbow and your forearm. Keep reaching through your right side body. Root down through your right hip, your right sit bone. Good, y'all. Now you might look underneath your right tricep if it feels okay. You might not. Oh, very nice. Breathe here. On your inhale, reach your right fingertips up to the sky. And on the exhale, take your right arm out at shoulder height. Let your left ear fall down towards your left shoulder. Your right fingertips are reaching towards the side of the, more towards the top of what your mat would be if we were facing forward. Good, y'all. Feel that stretch. Take one more inhale. Now you're going to really press down through your left hand. Lead with your right fingertips. Your left ear stays down as you slowly lift yourself up. Good. And then let the crown of your head reach up. Whew. Give yourself a second there. And then let both arms come down. Roll your shoulders out for a second. All right. And then from here, walk your right hand out. Inhale to lengthen your spine. On the exhale, let your right ear fall down towards your right shoulder, and then take your left arm out to a diagonal, right? And then your right fingertips can reach up and over and find your left temple, but it's very gentle, y'all, okay? So it's just additional weight. There's no pulling down happening here. You're just letting that additional weight increase what's happening on the left side of your neck. Now, you could stay right here, remember? This is that great spot to just be. If you're looking for more, that's where you kind of take your left fingertips out to a diagonal. You can lift your hand, but you still want it to be a downward sloping line from your shoulder to your wrist. And you make those little circles. Your left thumb is pointing up. And then you go in the opposite direction. Good, y'all. Very nicely done. And then if you're going to take that half bind, internally rotate your upper arm bone. Point your left thumb down, your palm facing back. Slide your left forearm around the small of your back. Relax your right shoulder down and stay here for an additional moment or two. And then if you want that kind of activation release, it's like your inhale, you lift your left temple up into your fingers for 3, 2, 1, and release. Inhale, lift for 3, 2, 1, and release. Let your right fingertips slide down. Release your left hand down to the ground, and then turn your face side to side. Roll your shoulders out. Yeah, and then maybe you can kind of move through and like make some sweeping motions. Could also be circling out, whatever you feel like you need to combat everything we just did, right? Because that was a lot for the neck, the shoulders, and the upper back. And then let's meet on our hands and our knees, box pose. So facing towards the top of your mat now. If you need to roll out your ankles or tap out your toes or anything like that after being seated with the legs crossed for a while, totally valid. Now once you're here, feel this out. So we've done a lot in the upper back. See how this feels to you. On your inhale, let your belly drop down, lift your chin, lift your tail. And as you exhale, reverse your movement. Dome out your upper back, tuck your chin, tuck your tail. Good, y'all. Now inhale, roll back through. Lift your heart. And exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back, navel to your spine. Now, if you want to stay in this kind of vertical plane, stay with your cat and cow, right? If you're ready to kind of move around, go for that, right? So swaying your hips, swaying through your shoulder girdle. Make it yours. It doesn't have to look like anything. I want it to feel like you responding to the feedback you're getting from your body and moving accordingly, right? You're getting feedback all day long from your body. The problem is, typically we are all so busy or being busy that we don't hear it or we don't listen to it, right? So your yoga practice helps you move through all of this stuff in your body so that you can start to tune out all of the noise and actually hear, right? So there you go. When you get back into your box pose, you're just gonna find your all fours. Root down into both hands. And as you inhale, extend your right foot to the back of your mat. Stay on the ball of your right foot. So you're gonna stretch the right calf and then kind of shift forward and back. Whew. Just move through this a little bit. And those of you who know me for a while now know that from time to time I get on these like cardio kicks, right? Like where I walk, jog, stuff. So I've been doing that again. My legs are tight. Who knew, right? And then when you're ready, stack your shoulders back over your wrists. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. Inhale, lift your right leg up to hip height. Now on the exhale, bring your right foot to your right thumb. Lift your left knee and slide it back a little bit. So just kind of take your time. You're in your low lunge here. You want your right knee to track over your heel or your ankle. Now inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up overhead. Salamba Anjaneyasana, your supported crescent lunge. Exhale, just kind of stay here for a moment. So pull the pit of your belly back, right? On your inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher so you feel your floating ribs lift up and away from your hips. On the exhale, take your hands towards the small of your back. Maybe your fingertips point up. Some people will point them down, right? So from here, cricket wing your elbows back. Zip the pit of your belly in, and then slowly begin to lift your chest, maybe your gaze up towards the ceiling. So you're imagining that there's like a ball at your upper and middle thoracic spine. So this isn't about your low back, it's the upper back. And you're really trying to lift your heart, lift your collarbones while pulling the pit of your belly in so you don't feel this in your lumbar spine. And arching. Good. Take one more inhale. And then exhale. Bring your hands down to the ground. Frame your front foot. Inhale. Root your left hand down. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Gaze follows your right fingertips. Stay right here for your exhale. Now inhale. Reach your fingertips a little bit higher. And exhale. Bring your right hand down. Shift your hips back and straighten your right leg. Flex your toes back towards your shin. So Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split. Inhale, find fluidity and mobility. Rock yourself back forward. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Drishti follows your right hand. Exhale your right hand down. Shift your hips back, straighten your right leg and flex your toes towards your shin. Last one. Inhale, walk yourself forward. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Gaze follows your right fingertips. And then exhale, bring your right hand down, shift your hips back and straighten your right leg. Good, now your hands can be on blocks, whatever you need here, but try to lengthen your spine. Some of you will even take your tailbone and flare it more towards the back of your mat. And then check out your second and your third toes. Ideally, they point up and back towards your shin rather than out or in, right? Reach your collarbones towards your right ankle. Now inhale, walk yourself back forward. Curl up your back toes. Lift your back knee. Exhale, bring your right foot back. You're in your high plank. Now you can definitely come down to your knees, right? Otherwise you can roll forward and backward, getting into your toes, your feet, your calves a little bit more. And then everybody, inhale, bring your knees down to the ground. Exhale, bend your elbows, melt yourself all the way down to the earth. Let your forehead come down to the mat. Relax your shoulders back and down from your ears. Tap out your feet maybe, shake out your hips. And bring your hands out off of your mat, so either onto your wood floor, whatever floor you've got. Cricket wing your elbows up. And then as you inhale, roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. So it's like a wide arm cobra pose, right? I can't remember what they call this. But roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Now as you exhale, drop your left shoulder down and gaze to the right. Inhale back through center. And exhale, drop your right shoulder down, gaze left. Oof. Inhale through center. Exhale your left shoulder down, gaze right. Inhale through center. Exhale your right shoulder down, gaze left. Oh, nice. Inhale through center. Exhale, bring your chest down to the ground, forehead down. Shake your hips side to side. Bring your hands outside of your chest. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale, child's pose, balasana. So take your hips towards your heels, your knees out to the side edges of your mat. Drape your chest down onto your thighs. You can roll your forehead from side to side here. And you'll inhale, press up into your box pose. And exhale, pull your belly in and up. On the inhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Stay on the ball of your left foot. And you're going to roll forward and backward here, stretching now through your left calf. Keep the pit of your belly drawn up to support your low back, y'all. Good. And then stack your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, lift your left leg up to hip height. It's your 3-point balance. Your belly's pulled in and up. And then exhale, bring your left foot all the way through to your left thumb. Lift your right knee and slide it back. You're in your low lunge. I want you to take your time here. Your left knee tracks over your heel or your ankle. Inhale, bring your shoulders up over your hips. Your arms up over your head. Stay for your exhale. Pull your navel towards your spine. Now with your inhale, you reach a little bit longer. Get as tall as you can. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the small of your back. So your fingertips might point down. It's all good. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. Your fingertips might point up. Do try to cricket wing your elbows back. Yeah? And then zip your navel in. Now, if you are watching, right, I prefer you to feel this in your body. I mean, you'll notice that I don't round a lot because that's kind of where my work is in my spine and in my back bending. But try to pull your navel up and away from your pubic bone, your sternum up and away from your navel. So this is a deep front body stretch while it's strengthening the backside body. Roll your shoulders back and down. Think of your heart space lifting and there being something right behind you like a ball or a wheel, and you're rounding your upper back over that without dumping into your lumbar spine. So everything on the front draws in, but it lifts and it lengthens. Good, y'all. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Frame your front foot with your hands. Right hand down, stays rooted. Counter the back bend by twisting. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky. Now watch your left knee or shin. Might try to splay out to the left. Good. Your drishti traditionally follows your left hand. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Shift your hips back, straighten your left leg, and flex your toes back towards your shin. Inhale, walk yourself forward. Right hand down, left arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, left hand down, hips shift back, straighten your left leg and flex your toes. Last one. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, your left hand comes down. Shift your hips back, straighten your left leg, and flex your toes back towards your shin. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. Awesome, y'all. So you just got to do you, right? I say all of these things, but if you move into this space and something doesn't jive, man, it's your responsibility. It's your freedom to do something different. If you need to bend into your left knee because you feel this in a weird space in your leg, do it. Good, y'all. Completely exhale. Inhale, walk yourself forward. It changes here. Curl up your right toes, lift your right knee. On the exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Find your first downward facing dog. We're like at minute 38 and it's your first or 40 downward facing dog of the practice. Let your crown hang down. You might sway your hips from side to side. Feel all of that out. Good, y'all. Pull the pit of your belly in, and then you lift your tail up and back on the diagonal. So if you need to roll to the balls of your hips, really lift your heels, bend your knees, and drape your chest on top of your thighs. I got this from Jamie Davis. It really helps lift the tailbone, I'm eating my shirt, up and back towards the sky. One more inhale here. Bend your knees to look forward. And then exhale as many or as few steps as you want to take to get your feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Keep your feet about hip width distance this first round so that you can take a dangling forward fold, a ragdoll. So inhale, lengthen your spine. Take the crown of your head forward. Your tailbone draws back. Belly in and up. And then exhale, dangle over your legs. And let the crown of your head hang down. If you want to grab opposite elbows, do that. And then just breathe here. You can bend your knees a lot or not at all. All right, y'all. So you're down here and you're holding onto your elbows. Now, if you've practiced with me before, we've done this before. But it takes maybe a few rounds to kind of fully embody it, so be prepared for that, right? So holding on to your opposite elbows, take a baby bend to your knees. On your inhale, you're going to shift over towards the right with your right elbow leading. Open your elbows towards the top of your mat. Lift up. Let your forearms frame the top of your head. And then you exhale, lead with your left elbow to come down and dangling forward fold. So taking 3 more of those circles. Inhale towards the right, lift with your left elbow, come all the way up. And then exhale, lead with the left and fold yourself back down. Last 2, inhale and exhale. Last 1 in this direction, inhale. Pull your belly in and up. Exhale, dangle down. Now we go in the opposite direction, lead to the left. Inhale. Open up towards the top of your mat. Lift your torso. And then exhale, fold it back down. Inhale to the left, open towards the front. Feel this rotation. Exhale, come back down, dangle it down. Last 2. Inhale. And exhale. Last 1. Inhale. And exhale, hang it down, let it go. Roll your shoulders around. Good, y'all. Now on your inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, melt your chest back down. Inhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. And on your exhale, just straighten your right leg. So now you're in a pyramid pose, but it's just to stretch. So if you would rather bring your left knee down for a half split, feel free to do that. Otherwise, hands on either side of your right leg. Pull your right hip back, your left hip forward, and press down into the big toe ball mound of your right foot. Reach your heart towards your ankle. Good, y'all. Breathe here. And then as you inhale, bend into your right knee. Reach your arms up over your head. So you're in a warrior 1. It's just a transition. Exhale, open up, warrior 2 on the right side. Bend your right knee, take your gaze to your right fingertips. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Reach your right fingertips forward. And then exhale, your right hand down to your shin, your left arm up to your sky. Tita Trikonasana, your triangle pose. Just getting into the groin a little bit, the inner thighs. We're not staying super long. Your gaze traditionally would go to your left hand. Watch your shoulders. And you want your torso to kind of line up on top of your right thigh rather than dropping inside of it. Now inhale, bend into your right knee. Take your gaze to your right fingertips, warrior 2. Exhale, windmill your hands down, parallel your back toes. Inhale here. Exhale, step your left foot forward and find your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale your hands to the ground or to blocks and step your right foot back. Let your right heel go flat. Straighten your left leg. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. With your inhale, lengthen your spine. pull your heart towards your left ankle, and on the exhale, really root down through the big toe ball mound of your left foot and spin your navel towards your left thigh bone. Breathe here. On your next inhale, bend into your left knee, root down through your feet, and bring your arms up over your head. On the exhale, open yourself up, warrior two on the left side. Gaze to your left fingertips. Inhale, straighten your left leg, bump your right hip back, reach your left fingertips forward, and then exhale, drop your left hand down and reach your right arm up to the sky. Your gaze would follow your right fingertips. Breathe here. Good, y'all. On your next inhale, bend back into your left knee. Reach your arms open like a T. Gaze to your left fingertips. And then exhale, windmill your hands down. Frame your front foot, parallel your back toes. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat and soften your knees down to the ground. Move through a few hip circles here. Just kind of test out your body, see where you're at. And then you'll come right back into center. On the inhale, take your right leg out to the side body and let your right foot come down with all 5 toes pointing forward. So it looks like this, right? Moving into our thread the needle with the leg extension variation. So your right leg is out, right palm roots to the ground. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, thread the needle. Let your left ear, your left temple, your left shoulder come down to the ground. Now, your left peace fingers could loop around your right big toe. Your right arm can reach forward or wrap around the small of your back in a half bind. Feel what you need. We have done a lot of work in the upper back and in the shoulders. So you might be kind of rolling towards the back of your skull with your gaze towards the ceiling. Don't overdo it, just breathe here. Slowly release your right hand back in front of your face if it moved anywhere else. Root your palm to the ground. Inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. Leave your right leg as it is. Exhale your left hand down to the ground. Shift your hips back to your left heel. You're in a funky child's pose. So your right leg is still out. Drape your chest down towards the ground. Maybe your forehead comes down. Relax your shoulders. And press actively into the outer edge of your right foot. And breathe. On your inhale, shift yourself back up onto all threes because your right leg is still extended. And then extend your right leg long and strong behind you into that 3-point balance we did earlier. Exhale, bring your right knee all the way forward, coming into your half pigeon. So slide your left leg back behind you. Your right shin can either be parallel to the top of your mat or your heel all the way in towards your pelvis or anywhere in between. There's a slight flex to your right foot. If you already know you prefer to do this on your back, then roll onto your back and cross your right ankle over the left. You can also go ahead and move into double pigeon, stacking your left shin on top of the right. Otherwise, inhale to lengthen, pull your heart forward, and exhale to fold down. Your arms can reach forward, out, or back. Kind of choose what you need. your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale to lift your chest. And then curl up your left toes so that you can press back, lift your hips, extend your right leg long behind you, and then exhale, bend your right knee, stack the hip, yawn it open, and circle it out. You'll go in both directions. Nice. And then let your right knee come back into your box pose. Roll out your spine, whatever you need to do. And then inhale. Left leg out to the side body. You want all 5 toes to point forward. Root down into the 4 corners of your left palm, right? So you've got kind of like the same 4 corners like you would in your foot. And then you inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. And exhale, thread the needle. Come down onto your right shoulder, your right ear, your right temple. Now, your right peace fingers might find your left big toe. You can take your left arm forward or wrap it around the small of your back in a half bind. Same thing, if you notice that there's space for you to roll to the back of your skull and take your gaze up, just go really softly into that, right? Breathe. And maybe you take one more nice, deep, long breath in. And since you're at home or wherever, exhale through your mouth. Let that go. And then let your left hand come right back down in front of your face. Nice and slow. Root your left palm to the ground. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. And then exhale your right hand down. Shift your hips back over your right heel. Leave your left leg extended unless you hate it, right? And then skip that. Reach your arms forward. Let your forehead come down. Breathe, y'all. One more breath here. And then you inhale, press up into your palms and your right knee, swim your left leg back. And exhale, bring your left knee to your left wrist. Slide your right leg long behind you unless you're coming to your back for your recline variation. And then let your left leg kind of either move kind of between parallel and deeply angled, whatever works for your knee, your ankle, your hip. And let your right hip draw forward and feel heavy. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold over. Arms of choice, whatever works. Alright, start to slide your hands back in front of your shoulders. Inhale to lift your chest. Curl up your right toes so that you can shift back. Lift your hips. Extend your left leg behind you, and then exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, circle it out. Alright, come right back into your box pose. And then I'm going to cross my feet at the ankles and sit back so I can bring my legs out in front of me. Extend your legs long, move all your stuff out of the way, find your sits bones. And the same thing, so you can take a bend to your knees. So Paschimottanasana, your seated forward fold. Take your toes And you want all 10 toes to point back. So a lot of times the pinkies will kind of roll forward and the big toes in. Try to keep it straight. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, hinge through your hips instead of the waist and let your peace fingers grab your big toes. Maybe, it's not a must. Roll your shoulders back, pull your heart forward. And if you're still like here, it's perfect. Bend those knees, right? And bring your belly, bring your chest forward and just bring your hands down. So what we're aiming for is rather than going here and straining the back, we're going here, releasing the back. Good. Shoulders down. Hearts forward. Breathing. All right, y'all. Slowly bring yourself back up. And bring the soles of your feet together for just one last seated posture. Baddha Konasana. The heels come in towards your sits bones, towards your pelvis. Your soles of the feet press together to start. And bring hands to your feet. Now inhale, lengthen your spine, roll your shoulders back. And then exhale to hinge yourself forward. Good. Take 2 more breaths. And gently bring yourself up. All right, you're going to bring your knees together like you would the pages of a book. And then I'm going to grab my blocks here. Moving into just like a little final restorative posture. If you're into it, right, you can make like a T with your blocks. And you're going to feel out how high you want all of this. And then if you have a bolster, you're going to use your bolster and place that on top. If you don't, you're going to use a pillow like I did. And if you don't have a pillow, you're going to still be fine, and you're going to probably get a little bit more of a sensation along the spine and opening through the chest, but that's fine, right? So kind of place everything where you want it, and I'm going to switch to the last song on the playlist. So if you're playing with that, it's Satnam. It's the last one. And then you kind of want the base of your bolster or your pillow to come to the base of your spine. And then you lean back, right? And I'm going to take butterfly legs because I like them. You don't have to. You can extend your legs long. You can rest your arms down by the side body. Close your eyes and breathe. Now, if you want to stay here for the full, like for your Shavasana and everything, you absolutely can. I'll kind of give you a little nudge in a minute or so if you're looking to move positions. Once you get there, feel supported. If you would like to be flat for your Shavasana, you'll bring the knees together first, if they're open. And then gently press your elbows and forearms down so that you can lift and remove anything out that's underneath you. And then you'll lie down right back onto the ground. Take your time and get flat. If you're happy where you are, stay, right? Just stay. And rest. Relax your brows. Relax your jaw. Slowly begin to deepen your breath and wiggle your fingers and your toes. You're going to take your time making your way into Sukhasana the same way that we started class, so there's no rush. And as you're moving into that space, perhaps hugging your knees in towards your chest, rolling to the right. If you were listening to the playlist to that last song, and you hear, and it sounds kind of like Setenam. It's a seed mantra. It's an experience of the true essence of you, aligning with your truth. It's a mantra that resonates with the wisdom that says that within the seed is contained all the knowledge of the fully grown tree. So when you plant such a seed over and over again, your soul awakens and you are given your destiny. It also is a salutation, not unlike namaste, right? That I see you, who you are. I see the true essence of you, and I honor and I reflect that back to you. And you do so for me as well. So if that resonates with you today, there you go. If you are in your seated position, maybe your hands come down to your knees or on your lap. Sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back. Take that last breath in and out. Thank you all for being here on your mats with me, taking this ride. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.